Welcome back to Bike Matters. Today we're looking at this beauty. It's the Vespa GTS SuperTech 300 HPE. When it comes to looks and style, the Vespa's got plenty. Everyone knows that Vespa iconic look, and this new GTS has kept it. It's stylish, typical Italian, very simplistic but very beautiful. On this model we've got here, it's that lovely black paintwork with elements of chrome dotted around. It just looks really stylish. It's just that all-round typical Vespa styling that people love, and it's a formula that Vespa stick to because people love it. So as typical with a scooter, you do have storage. We've got this handy little glove box at the front. Basically, when you've got the key in the ignition and you turn it on, if you push it, the glove box will open. In there you've got a 5-volt USB port as well to charge your phone. And under seat storage, I don't think you've got enough room there personally for a full face helmet, but if you've got open face helmet, I think you'll be fine. Just have a little check if you are interested in getting this bike and seeing if it fits. The seat on the GTS 300 is 790mm high, which for a short person like myself, it's not a problem at all. It's typical scooter comfort, so around cities and town you're fine. Bit of touring you're okay, but longer journeys I think you might start to feel it a bit more, but still, very nice seat. As it's not the biggest scooter in the world, as expected, the fuel tank isn't that big either. It's 8.5 litres as stated by Vespa, but you should still get at least 100 miles to a tank, averaging around 80 miles per gallon. So all in all, it's quite an economical scooter. So the model we've been testing is obviously the SuperTech. So we get this rather awesome 4.3-inch TFT screen, which is the first full digital dash on a large body Vespa. So that's pretty cool. You can get the Vespa app on your iPhone or Android phone, which connects via Bluetooth to the dash, and you can do things like navigation, answer phone calls, view messages and all sorts. So it's a pretty cool feature on the SuperTech. Onto braking, and the Vespa's got plenty. At the front we have a 220mm hydraulic disc, and we have a 220mm disc on the rear as well. As standard, it has ABS, and it also has ASR, which is Vespa's own traction control. And rather handily, there is a separate button for the ASR as well, so if you want to turn traction control off, you can do at the push of a button. So this model is the HPE. So the HPE stands for High Performance Engine, and it's Vespa's most powerful to date. It's 23.8 brake horsepower from a 278cc engine. It's 4-stroke, and it's also liquid cooled as well, 4-valve single cylinder. Plenty of poke. Now the GTS SuperTech 300 HPE is Vespa's flagship scooter. So it comes in at £5,999, but it's a hell of a scooter for your money. Anyway, I think now's the time to get this scooter on the road. So hello ladies and gentlemen, we're now on the road with this beauty, the Vespa GTS SuperTech 300 HPE. So HPE stands for High Performance Engine because it is Vespa's most powerful engine to date. And it's giving out 23.8 brake horsepower, which is rather cool on something so small as this. Now, it is classed as a large body Vespa, but that's generally because Vespas aren't very big at all. So yeah, almost 24 brake horsepower on this little scoot, which means it picks up and goes very quickly. Top speed, I honestly don't know, but it's probably going to be around the 80-mile-an-hour mark, I should imagine. But it just gets to 60, 70 pretty rapidly, and it's on country lanes like this. You just have an absolute blast because you just throw it about
and it just goes where you want it to with such ease. Like, it'll just put a smile on your face. But the engine runs really smooth on this, especially when you get it going a bit and it's a bit lively and you're just going around the corners, you get the revs in and it's going really smooth. It's just an absolute delight. If there's a little happiness meter, as soon as you get to country roads on this thing, it ding 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 ding. Really enjoy it on the country lanes. Now it's obviously got that glove box down there, which you can put your mobile phone in and charge it up with, thanks to that USB port. You can also put a few other small bits and pieces in there. Not a lot, it is quite narrow. When I rode this scooter earlier, and when you're getting to around 70 mile an hour, especially on dual carriageway, there's a little bit of wind, I do honestly think you would want an additional screen on this. I just feel there's a lot of wind just gushing straight into my chest, and I'm only Diddy, so if you're a taller person and you're getting hit with that kind of wind, it does get a bit uncomfortable. So I definitely think about adding on one of those. And I think it's like most GTS owners do, they look to make a couple of modifications, one being the windscreen and the other being the exhaust. And I think a change of exhaust would be cool. This one does a perfectly adequate job, but I think typical Vespa modification might be needed. Now this new HPE engine, you're going to get around 80 miles per gallon if you ride it normally. Although I'm trying to be sensible on this thing, running it in, I've also tried to have a bit of fun at the same time, and I'm averaging around 65 at the moment, but early days yet. So now about to leave this village and get onto 60 speed limit. Let's see how rapid it is. And it's just that, I don't know what it is, it's that how you're sitting on this little scooter, that feeling of riding it and you're going into a bend fairly sharpish. But it's that riding experience is really enjoyable. Obviously this, although it's a almost 300cc engine, it's not a maxi scooter. It kind of gets put in that category because of the engine size, but it's not the size of a maxi scooter. It is quite small, but it's just an absolute joy to ride. So it is £5,999 the price for the GTS SuperTech 300 HPE. Obviously this is the flagship one. There is other variants of the GTS about, which are cheaper, but yeah, this is the all singing all dancing one. So this is why you have the 4.3 inch TFT screen, which is the first full digital dash, as I said earlier, in a large body Vespa. It's just the country lanes, it's an absolute hoot. It really is. It is it £6,000 worth? For the right type of person, yes. If you're in London or you're a GTS enthusiast, then you're going to buy it all day long, but it goes though. It isn't slow. So it has plenty of stopping power, the Vespa GTS. It's got the 220mm front and rear discs with those handy little calipers as well, so it brings this thing to a halt really nicely. I've had no surprises at all. It's all very nice and smooth, but stops quickly. The suspension is great. It's obviously more akin to cities and towns, but also in these country lanes when there's been potholes and stuff like that, it's done a real admirable job. I really enjoyed it. It gives a really awesome riding experience. You just fling it around, everything just works in harmony to make a real enjoyable riding experience. You go on this rough edging and just absolutely fine. But yeah, you just fling it around the corners, put the revs in, and you're smiling. Before you know it, without realising you're smiling. That seat isn't a bad height, 790mm, bang on average really. Not a problem for someone of my height, 5'6". Like I say, it is fairly comfortable. It will do, you know, a good 20 odd miles. Before you're starting to get a numb bum. I can see why these bikes have got such a hardcore following, because if a maxi scooter isn't your thing and you really like what Vespa have to offer, then you're just going to fall in love with this, I think, on a test ride. It's a little bit disappointing that under the seat I don't think you're going to get a full face helmet. You're only going to get some open face helmets will fit under there, so you'd have to do your research or try, see how you get on. But it's still good storage options, don't get me wrong. It'd just be nice to be able to fit a full face helmet for those who want to have one under there. The fuel tank isn't the biggest at 8.5 litres, but you're still going to get, you know, over 100 miles on a tank of fuel. So, you know, if you're averaging around 80 miles per gallon, so it doesn't do you too bad at all. It is an absolute joy to ride this Vespa GTS SuperTech 300 HPE. The extra poke is rather fun. Means when you've got an empty road ahead of you and you have fun with those revs, you're having a blast. And the suspension on this thing is doing a great job. It's just eating up those bumps and making quite a nice comfortable ride for me, which is pretty good. So while we're going along here, it's worth a big shout out to Lexman Insurance, who power Bike Matters. They make all these videos that we do possible. So if you're in the UK and you're looking at getting an insurance quote on a moped, a scooter or motorcycle, please make sure to head on over direct to lexmaninsurance.co.uk for a quote. Hopefully they'll be nice and competitive for you and save you some money compared to other insurers out there on the market. They really make this possible for us. So please make sure when it's insurance time, head on over to lexmaninsurance.co.uk. Big thanks to them. So I knew this Vespa would be perfect around towns and cities. I took it in Norwich, it done the job brilliantly. It's fun, it's quick off the lights, it's light and nimble. You can filter away and get around traffic nicely. But where I've really fallen for this scooter is on country lanes. 60 mile an hour, 50 mile an hour roads where there's not much traffic in front of you. And you just pull it back, get some revs in the thing, get some nice corners, some flowing bends, and you will smile. And you'll smile like you haven't smiled in ages. And that's what's really taken me by surprise with it. The riding experience is a joyful one. Absolutely joyful. An absolute blast. Well done, Vespa. So yeah, thank you very much everyone for watching. Really hope you've enjoyed my experience of the Vespa GTS SuperTech 300 HPE. I've had a right blast and it's taken me by surprise. You know, it has the odd little bit that, you know, I'd want a screen as standard would be nice. I'd probably change the exhaust, and the fuel tank's a bit small, but these are really minor things compared to that riding experience and just how much of a laugh I've had on it. So there you go, that brings us to an end of this test ride on the Vespa GTS SuperTech 300 HPE. I hope you found it useful. I hope there's decent information there for you. If you are tempting getting one of these bad boys, then just head on out to your local Piaggio dealership, take one for a test ride if you can, and I hope you've got country lanes near you where you can take it for a blast like I have and really enjoyed it. I think you'd be won over by it. But yeah, thank you ever so much for watching. If you're not already subscribing to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Right next to that is that bell notification icon. Hit that as well and you'll be notified of all of our future videos as they come out. If you enjoyed it, like I say, give it a like. If you've got any questions at all, please please comment. Let us know those questions that you may have. Any reasonable questions, we always try to answer them. But yeah, thank you ever so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.